Okay, so the next section we're going to talk about in bioenergetics is the chest and the throat area. So right here, going all the way up here. And this, oh man, there's so much here. There's so many neurotic holding patterns that get stuck here and over here. So I'll just mention briefly some of them that you may be experiencing. Number one, this area is the place that your heart resides, right? And if you ever had a broken heart, you realize that, man, when you get a broken heart, you really feel it here. Like, it's like, oh, there's actual real physical pain here. And most of us have had a broken heart, especially when we were kids, right? Because kids grow up and they're just free. They grow up free. They don't have like neurotic holding patterns, right? And then something happens. Many times we get hurt by our parents mostly, or our siblings, and they break our heart, and they hurt us real deeply. It's a big emotional wound. Or maybe some people got bullied, and it's just like, man, it just hurts, and it gets stuck there. Your heart gets broken, and these are colloquial terms that we use that are psychosomatic language. There's a whole book that Alexander Lowen wrote about the language of the body that shows that these words that we use to describe emotional experiences, like broken heart, feeling choked up, stuff like that, those type of words, having a tight ass, so many different words that we use that are body words that signify a psychological condition or signify an emotional experience. They're not there just because somebody invented them. They make sense. They're real. You feel it in your body, so there's psychosomatic language. And broken heart happens in this area, in your heart area. And by releasing your chest, you're able to tap into that. And you'll probably experience this too. You'll start feeling a lot more lighter and open. For me, there was a lot of sadness trapped in here. There was a lot of crying that happened. And with my therapist, he would have me open up, and then he would actually come in and like hold me down here and be like, breathe in here, because there was so much trapped in there. So one of them is going to be there's going to be a lot of releases happening in this area. A lot of times it's going to be based on love. It's going to be on grief. And for some people, it's going to be fear and sadness too. For me, it was sadness that was really trapped in there. And maybe a little fear. I was fearful to like open my heart, right? It was just like I was closed. I had a hard and heavy heart. And that happens to a lot of people. And there's the whole fascia here gets tight. And when that happens, because we start physically protecting our heart, protecting this area. This is our softest area, right? In all animals, like dogs or cats, if they love you and they're comfortable, they'll sleep like this. Or they'll let you pet them. If they're not feeling comfortable, if they're a little scared, they're going to close off and they'll just walk, like make sure to protect their neck, protect this area of their body, because that's the most vulnerable area. So what happens to us is when we get broken and hurt, we close off our vulnerability. We can't be vulnerable. We're closed off. And that's what we're going to open up, because that closed offness, that tightness here doesn't allow us to breathe. Doesn't allow us to breathe fully and to take in the oxygen that we need, to tap into our parasympathetic nervous system, to feel calm, relaxed throughout our day. So we're getting anxious. Most of us live with a little bit of anxiety throughout the day because we're just not breathing fully. We're just not breathing correctly, naturally, fully, deeply. And then when an experience happens that causes us a little bit of tension or is a little stressful, these muscles tighten up even more, and then we're having a harder time. The more we need it in these times, the more we need to be released and to be open. And what happens is it gets tighter. So that's where like a lot of the anxiety comes in, because these tensions just get tighter because it reminds us of past experiences of like fear or guilt or sadness or anger. Continuing on, there's also the connection from the belly and the chest and the throat. This whole area is the area where we can breathe fully, where we take in oxygen, when we take in air, but it's also where we're able to communicate, right? We're able to express ourselves through our breath. We use our breath in order to talk, and we use, of course, our mouth and different parts of our mouth, but the air has to come through here. And a lot of times, this part gets choked up, or you feel like, people say, like, you feel like you have an apple here or stuck, you know, when you need to really be released and open. It's like, I have a speech to give, or I have something that I need to say, and then all of a sudden choked up. And that also comes from a lot of neurotic holding patterns of the past. Many kids are told to shut up, to stop, don't talk, stop expressing yourself, many different things. And this area is known as the area for communication and also self-expression. So that's why we're going to open up this area, because many of us have tightness in our throats. And I think a lot of people are going to benefit tremendously from these exercises of the chest area and then also of the throat area, to allow yourself to speak freely, to speak truthfully, to speak when you need to speak confidently. Of course, these all tie in together. So we don't just start here. We also already are grounded, right? We've worked our way up. We're already grounded. And that helps even more, because now I'm speaking from a grounded place openly. Beautiful stuff happens with expression now that we're working on this area. Authentic communication. That's what happens by working on this area. Additionally, the deep breathing, that's allowed because now your throat is open, your chest is open. That'll help with a lot of the anxiety that people are feeling. There's going to be a lot of tension release, and there's probably going to be a lot of different stressful moments here. You might have a bunch of different emotions come up, and that's okay. Go through them calmly, confidently, keep breathing through them, and release them as you can. And if you need to do these exercises more than 3 times, definitely do them. There's going to be a lot of great releases happening here. And lastly, just the main thing is that it's going to help us to manage our stress more effectively and maintain a sense of inner peace by releasing a lot of these tensions over here. So good. Congratulations on making it this far. I'm excited to hear about your transition and transformation during this section of the chest and throat. Next, we're moving into the shoulders, arms, and hands. Until then, keep on going, keep on growing. See you on the next one. Peace.